nice to have you here with us. Uh, so we'll straight away get to the questions. My first question to both of you. Firstly to you, Ricky, because this is your second Grammys win. Does this feel any different from the time you first won it in 2015?
For sure, actually, because this year I worked with pretty much my childhood idol, that is Stewart Copeland on this particular album. Stewart Copeland, as we all know, was the founder and drummer of the band The Police, and he sold 75 million copies of his albums. Previously, he is a 5-time Grammy Award winner. Now he's a 6-time Grammy Award winner. Almost every single publication has called him one of the greatest drummers of all time in the history of music. So, I've grown up listening to his music. His music has shaped my entire life when it comes to my musical career. And to have this privilege to create an album with him and to actually win a Grammy along with him on the same stage has been quite a surreal experience.
Right. And to both of you, how much does this win, what does this win mean to both of you?
The win actually means a lot because the only kind of music that I make is about the environment and sustainability and positive social impact around those areas. I do not do pop music. I do not do film music or Bollywood music. So for me, it has obviously been quite a difficult path. And, and awards like these always give me a platform for not only doing bigger and better music, but also a platform to voice my concerns about various issues. Because for me, music and advocacy go hand in hand. There are a lot of things that I want to talk about, and these awards provide me that platform to talk about these things and to provide solutions to various issues that our planet is facing.
Okay. Naveen, you would want to add something?
Yeah, I think Ricky Sir's vision of and concerns, I think a platform of validation from such a huge platform is something that can cause a huge impact globally. I think artists like him have always deserved a platform like the Grammys, and I think the Grammys awarding Ricky Sir and as well as Stewart is just the beginning. I think Ricky Sir has already 2 to his name, and I think there are many more to come in for the future.
Yes. Tell us, how did this collaboration happen? You were working with Stewart Copeland. How did this happen?
So I'd actually collaborated with Stewart Copeland once in 2016 on a single track. And but I never got to actually interact with him because it was literally me interacting with the artist managers, sending the tracks, and then Stewart playing the drums and sending it back. So so that's how that ended. And then I've always been looking at creating a follow-up to my 2015 Grammy Award-winning album. And but my relentless touring schedule did not permit me to do that. Like, for example, in 2019, I performed in more than 13 countries and around 70 concerts. So I'm constantly living out of a suitcase, constantly traveling from country to country, performing my concerts. But then the pandemic hit in 2020, and we were all supposed to be at home. And that presented itself as an opportunity for me to actually record and to create a new album. And while I was starting to create this album, I really wanted to collaborate with Stewart on this particular album. And I somehow, through friends and through artist manager friends, I managed to get in touch with him. I played him some of the music. He loved it. And then he said, okay, let's do this album together. And then that started a year-long journey of us working and collaborating with each other. We never got to meet each other personally. We had tons and tons of Zoom calls and like how it is during the pandemic, and Skype calls and WhatsApp calls and all of that stuff, and emails. And I actually got to meet him for the first time, much after we got nominated for the Grammy. For the first time, I got to meet him just 7 days ago. And but since the last 7 days, we've spent a lot of time with each other, and I'm so blessed to be spending time with such a great individual.
All right. Okay. So Divine Tides, what has been the inspiration of this album? And what does the album the message that it intends to send across?
So Divine Tides is all about, it's all about environmental consciousness and coexistence. When we speak about coexistence, for some reason, the only thing that comes to our mind nowadays is living in peace and harmony just between different parts of the human species, different religions, different socioeconomic statuses, coexistence between people across borders and things like that. But actually, if you look at any ancient philosophy anywhere in the world, coexistence has always meant living in absolute peace and absolute harmony with every single entity on this planet. You know, with the forests, with the wildlife, with the water we drink, with the air we breathe, with the land we walk on. So that's what this album is a reminder of, especially during the pandemic, that the key to our survival as a human species is living in absolute coexistence with every single entity on this planet, whether living or non-living. And that's why we need to conserve, protect, and sustain our planet by coexisting.
Right, right. So one musician or any artist from India that you're keen on collaborating with?
Oh, there are plenty of them actually. So there are plenty of artists that I've always wanted to collaborate, but I managed to collaborate with in the last few years, like Salim Suleiman. I've been a huge fan of theirs for a very long time, and I got to collaborate with them multiple times in the last 2 years, and even on this album, on Divine Tides. Same thing with Mr. Shankar Mahadevan. Of course, Mr. A.R. Rahman is a friend of mine. I've never gotten to collaborate with him, but we've talked to each other multiple times about this, and I hope that one day I will get to collaborate with that great, great individual. Yeah, so that's that.
Okay, okay. So that's about it. And thank you for giving us time. It was wonderful talking to you, and congratulations.